One might have expected quite a pitching duel between Mark Burley and Rich Harden. In the end, it didn't eventuate that way. Neither got a decision tonight. Harden's 44, that is 0.44 ERA, rose because he gave up 9 hits and 5 earned runs in his 5 1/3 innings. His command was not as meticulous as it has been. He walked a couple while striking out 4 through a wild pitch, hit a batter. But Burley, the fast-working left-hander looking for his 4th win of the year, wound up being charged with 7 earned runs on 11 hits in 6+ innings, and he, too, goes away without a decision. The bullpens settled it in the end. In the early going in the ball game, actually the A's had base runners on in every inning, but Burley threw double play balls in each of the first 3 innings to turn back athletic stretch. In fact, the A's themselves turned a couple of double plays in the first 4 frames, but Harden got behind right away tonight when Paul Konerko singled home a run in the first inning with 1 out. Higuchi and Everett singled in front of him. Konerko delivered the run-scoring hit, and then Jermaine Dye grounded into a double play to keep it to a 1-run inning. By the time the White Sox came up in the 4th inning, it was still 1-0, and Dye got things going, struggling with a 164 average coming into the ball game. He crushed one to the base of the wall in center field for a leadoff double, went to third on Rowan's single to left field, and then Juan Uribe was up next.
Here's the stretch. The A's right-hander ready. And his 0-1 pitch is a ground ball, base hit to left field through the hole. Dye can walk home. Rowan goes to second. A solid single by Uribe, and it's 2-0 Chicago.
Then it was backup catcher Chris Widger, whose homer turned the tide of last night's ball game. He ran a full count.
Rich bending at the waist, working from the first base side of the slab. To the belt, checks. They're off. The 3-2 is a line drive to center. That's going to sink in front of Kotsay for a base hit. He bobbles it now. Rowan will score easily. Uribe goes to third. A solid smash to center by Widger. 3-0 Chicago. And that is 4 consecutive hits. And they haven't been cheap.
Harden then got Ozuna to ground into a 4-3 double play, ending the inning. And when the A's didn't score after getting 2 on without a hit in the bottom of the 4th, they had gone 26 consecutive innings without getting a run. But finally, they were almost at the point where they were going to break through. They did in the bottom of the 5th after a 2-out White Sox threat with 2 on was ended on a line drive to right field by Dye in the top half of the 5th inning. In the bottom of the 5th, Keith Ginder, who got a start at second base tonight, singled, and Nick Swisher singled for the second time. Nick had come in 0 for 13 against left-handers this year and singled each of his first 2 times up. Scudero forced Swisher, leaving runners at first and third, and everybody was wondering, will the A's be once again thwarted in this bid to get a run? Here's the pitch. Line drive, base hit into right center field. Cut off in right by Dye. Here's the run in from third. Racing to third is Scudero. Into second with a sliding double. Mark Kotsay breaks the long drought. And it's a 3-1 Chicago White Sox lead on Kotsay's 11th run batted into the year. The ultimate ruling on that was a single and taking second on the throw-in, and now the A's had a chance for more, but Eric Burns went down as a strikeout victim. But Kendall worked the base on balls, keeping the rally alive. And here again was Eric Chavez, who'd been struggling in such a tough fashion. At this point, he was 0 for his last 11, 1 for his last 19, and had only 1 hit this year with runners in scoring position. Burley ready again. Swing, a base hit to left through the hole. 1 run in. Here comes the second runner to the plate. The throw, the slide, the tag. Chase! It's a tie ball game. Over to third goes Kendall. And Chavez comes through big time after 20 at-bats with only 1 success with runners in scoring position, tying up the ball game. Then it was Bobby Kelly who got a start tonight. He's been beginning to find the range a little bit, in addition to the fact that he was 12 for 32 in his career against Mark Burley and already had a hit and a walk. And he continued his pleasant evening. Stretch and pitch. Line drive, hard hit, center field, base hit. The A's take the lead. Coming in from third is Kendall. Down to second base is Chavez. 4-3 Athletics. They've come all the way back after being blanked for 26 consecutive scoreless innings. And Kelby continues to hammer Mark Burley. Career numbers now 14 for 34. Oh, the relief of it all. But how short-lived was that relief? Because as Harden tried to execute a shutdown top of the sixth, things went awry. Aaron Rowan opened with a single to get things going. Then with Uribe up, the nightmarish inning for Eric Burns began. There's a hammering drive to left center field that Burns goes over and drops in the alley. And around first on the way to second is Rowan. Coming to third and on the way to the plate. Here's the relay throw. The slide, the tag. Safe at home. And we're tied. A hard hit ball in the left center field, but Burns appeared to have it under control and didn't make the catch.
It looked strange at the last second, like he lost it or something, or didn't see it. I'm not sure exactly what happened, Bill.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Well, Widger was a strikeout victim, but then Ozuna walked, and troubles were piling up again. At that point, Ricardo Rincon came on to relieve Harden and pitched to Scott Podsednik, but things went awry once more for the A's. Now it's 3-2 with one out, and Rincon ready, and delivers. The runners go. Ground ball through the left side hole, base hit. And coming around third is Uribe to the plate. He will score from first to third. Oh, a terrible throw by Eric Burns. I have no idea what he was doing. The runner goes from first to third, Ozuna, and Podsednik goes to second base on a silly throw that had no rhyme or reason behind it. A lob toss to third base.
What happened, I think, Bill, is that Burns was surprised that Uribe was coming to the plate.
Well, he should not have been surprised.
Exactly.
That is not heads-up baseball. Well, after all of that, we had a matchup of two Japanese countrymen. Keiichi Gabu came in to pitch to Iguchi. Who wins the Japanese battle? Again, the set and the pitch. There's a soft looper, base hit to right field. That'll be a two-run effort, I think. Here comes the runner from second scoring behind Ozuna. Podsednik is in, and it is 7-4. And the A's didn't even have a few minutes to enjoy the feeling of being in front. And Carl Everett lined a single to right, and there were runners at first and second. How much could this inning spin further out of control? Konerko was the next batter up, and he's the number one power guy in this club. Popped up. Shallow right center field. It's going to drift out to about mid-right center, and Kotze there takes over. Here's a tag up at third after the catch. Throw to the plate. Tag! Out of the plate! A perfect strike on the fly by Mark Kotze, and he gets the runner at the plate, Iguchi, and the inning is over. Holy Toledo. What a throw by Kotze. He went over and took charge in right center as Swisher was there to set himself for the throw and made a perfect effort to the plate. But at the end of 5.5, the A's trail 7-4. They made no headway in the sixth inning. Burley came out to start the seventh. We still had a 7-4 ball game. And singles by Burns and Kendall got things rolling. And Chavez had another opportunity.
And Burley's 0-1 pitch is poked on the left field line, slicing in the corner, dropping down fair, and going to the wall. Burns will score. Kendall to third. They'll hold him there on a two-base hit the other way by Chavez, and the A's are down by 2. It is 7-5. And Chavez with a good approach that time, going the other way on Mark Burley. Slicing drive right down the left field line. Burns scoring easily. 3 RBIs tonight for the A's third baseman. And that's going to be it for Mark Burley.
Enter the left-handed reliever Damaso Marte, who got Kelty on a ground out to put put the runner at third base, Chavez, after Kendall scored. The infield played back, so he made the out to get the run home and the RBI. It's now a 7-6 ball game. Hatterberg was up, and Hatterberg is a guy who can handle his own against left-handers, but as it turned out, it wasn't necessary to get that tying run home.
Marte steps off the rubber. And now they call it a balk. And the game is tied, and Marte can't believe it. It was called by Jerry Meals, the third base umpire. and the game is tied 7-7 on a balk. Chavez scoring from third.
Well, the A's had that opportunity cashed in, and with a little help, nothing else happened in the inning. But in the seventh, Yabu went out there and had to battle his way through a tough inning. A hit, a walk, and a hit batsman before he got Podsednik to hit into a force out with the bases loaded to keep the ball game all even. It was the eighth inning when the A's turned the tide after Dukeshire had shut down the Sox with a walk and a single with no runs in the top half of the eighth inning. And with one out, it was Scudero hitting one into right field, a routine high fly that Jermaine Dye, one-time Gold Glover, camped under and clanked. Scudero wound up at second base, and that was a foot in the door the A's needed. Kotze drew a base on balls, and Marte was replaced at that point with Eric Burns coming up. Luis Vizcaíno, the one-time Athletics right-hander, came on. Countering was Ken Maka with Rubio Durazo and a pinch-hitting role, and once again, rather bizarre result.
He's ready. He deals, and ground ball to the left side. Actually, the shortstop, Harris, boots it, goes by him, goes into left field, and scoring is Scudero. Winding up at third is Kotze, and the A's have taken an 8-7 lead. A little nubber, and the White Sox had a semi-shift on the infield, where the shortstop Harris shaded toward the second base bag, and the ball was good to the left side. Harris charging, bobbled it, it rolled behind him, and the run scored, and the A's, after all this, have taken the lead, and that's the fourth error tonight on the White Sox.
Generally a discombobulated night, you might say. The A's still had more, though. They needed more, and they got it from Kendall.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And the right-hander at the belt. And his 2-2 pitch is a ground ball to the hole, base hit left field. Kotze will score. Up to second goes Thomas. A solid single for Jason Kendall. And the A's lead by 2. It is 9-7. So Kendall delivers here in the 8th. And this might be the breakout game that Ken Maka was talking about earlier today.
And Octavio Dotel came on in the 9th inning to try to close it out, to make it 5 for 5 and save opportunities. And he went right after Creedy, struck him out after he fouled off several pitches, popped out Widger, and it was down to one more out needed. Willie Harris standing between Dotel and breaking the losing streak. 1-2. Boy, this crowd has really been into it from the beginning tonight, even though the A's weren't able to break out of their scoreless string until the 5th inning. And they're ready to let her rip. And Dotel pours it in. Swung and missed. Struck him out. The A's stopped the Sox winning streak at 8. Their own losing streak at 3. And a great comeback win for the Athletics tonight in a game featured by lots of bizarre plays, lots of mistakes. But in the end, the Athletics get it together. And with that 2-run 8th inning, put a cinch on it, winning over the White Sox 9-7. And when we return, we'll listen to Mark Kotze talking about this